Let me speak human. At first, I have to ask a question. May we survive taking in methyl isocyanate? Methyl isocyanate or carbon dioxide? Well, this question has been answered well before the neoliberal children have taken over the state, the economy, and the religious affairs and the culture. It is concluded with Bhopal gas tragedy. On the night of 2nd and 3rd December 1984. It was yet another tragedy after Mrs. Gandhi was murdered in the same year on 31st December, 31st October, sorry. The question remains that without the sustenance of climate, without the sustenance of environment, without the sustenance of the nature, against our biological anatomy, against the basic needs to sustain life, may we afford reforms. For me, Bhopal gas tragedy is the original reform, and we have not recovered from Bhopal gas tragedy, and we are waiting our predestined death without any resistance, without any protest. I have been worried about the health of the Himalayas just because of Chipko consciousness. One woman, Mrs. Gaura Devi from Chamoli district, she taught the world that without sustaining the environment, the sustained deforestation would kill mankind. And take for the mangrove forest, Sunder Bans. It is finished. It is finished across the border. In Bangladesh, in India. Once upon a time, most part of Kolkata was in Sundarbans, and the Banga, which is the original Bengal, across the Padma river, was a land of marsh, forest and rivers, and they were the indigenous and aboriginal people who were Mahayana Buddhists, and this is the heritage of Buddhist Bengal beyond Pal dynasty. And now the Sundarbans is limited in a solitary part of Bay of Bengal, and in Bangladesh they are making nuclear plants, power plants in Sundarbans area. In Bengal, the Nayachar project or Haripura project have been suggested to be nuclear. And Sunder Bans, the mangrove forest is to be made in a concrete jungle, as the every part of Himalayas except Kashmir has been made in the cemented jungle. Himachal Pradesh is the another exception, which opted for forestation. They opted for green. Otherwise, only in Kashmir, due to Article 370, external interference is restricted, and the capital could not play havoc there. Hence, I have already demanded that Article 370 should be extended to every part of the Himalayas, irrespective of national borders. Every country should ensure that the health of Himalayas should be maintained. And I am shocked to see Gangtok, where you cannot walk. You have to take a car, whether you are going up or down, anywhere in the city. And every part of Gangtok is being, every part of Sikkim has become cemented jungle. I cannot walk on Mall Road in Nainital because I am afraid of landslide, which might occur any time. Belonging to Nainital, I know the ecology of the city, the ecology of the lake, and I know it can explode any time. Not only Nainital, the lake region may explode any time, because it is overloaded with construction, and outsiders are making in Uttarakhand energy province, or the cemented urban world, and it is a disaster. It is disaster. Now, I have decided to talk in this topic today, just reading a story in Economic Times. The story is about raising the Nicobar. Nicobar means Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Mind you, it is a strategic point. It is strategically very, very important for India's external as well as internal security. It involves national interest, and the government had decided to gift away the Andaman and Nicobar Islands to private parties, all on the name of development and tourism. Economic Times says government readies a 15-year plan and budget of rupees 10,000 crore to develop shipping, port and tourism infrastructure on the Andaman and Nicobar Islands after assessing impact on Jarwas habitat, and Rajat Arora reports. What does it mean? Jarwas have been the people, you should remember, they were alerted by tsunami because they are associated with the nature. They have been disturbed enough already. with refugees being resettled in Andaman and Nicobar Islands, and the capital playing its game there already. And now this development, this shipping, port and tourism infrastructure means free flow of foreign capital, free flow of foreign interest in a very, very sensitive zone. At the same time, the mangrove forests, the Sunder Bans have been very, very strategical to block tsunamis, to block cyclone. Otherwise, Kolkata and Bengal had been washed away long before. Kolkata survives just because of Sundarbans, and we are killing Sundarbans. And as every student of history, every student of geography knows very well that the Himalayas works as a great wall for India. We need not to construct a great wall like China to defend our nation, because we have there the Himalayas to protect not only India but also the geopolitics. Himalayas feed this geopolitics because monsoon is dependent on the altitudes of the Himalayas. It returns from there, and we have the rain, we have the water, we have the sources of water resources in the Himalayas, and we have to sustain the Himalayas. At the same time, it involves the national interest, and hence we plead peace to be maintained in Himalayas, and hence we are worried about the affairs in Nepal, which is economically blocked by India. That's it. And now, this indiscriminate industrialization, what does it mean? What does it mean? Without industries, you are talking about industrialization. Industrialization means production. Industrialization means the production structure. You are killing the structure. You are killing the production system, and the whole emphasis is foreign investment, and the orientation is FDI, and you are just starting hundreds and thousands startups to answer and address the basic needs of the people. I am worried with the agenda passed in United Nations and the push for reforms, because reform means Bhopal gas tragedy for me. And you see what they are doing. Mr. Arun Jaitley has been denying time and again that there would be no concession in tax for the foreign companies. I don't understand how Indian industry and business, CII, FICCI and India Incorporation takes it as development. Those companies, those Indian companies, they are tagged with foreign capital and aligned with foreign companies which are taking over India, and India is sold to those companies, and those companies associated with those foreign interest and foreign capital. Only a section of industry and business they have harvested very rich. I won't name those companies, you know, and it is open secret for whom the business friendly government is working. India Incorporation knows, FICCI knows, and CII also knows. What about industry and business in India? The fundamental thing and the fundamental condition is the market, and it is open market just because the foreign companies have to take over Indian consumer market, the consumer market of the geopolitics. And I am sorry to say that politics in this subcontinent, all over the geopolitics, is reduced into strategic marketing. It is ambush. It is ambush marketing. For example, Monsanto is playing havoc in Americas and European countries, and we have opted for GM foods. We have opted for genetically modified seeds. It is monopolistic aggression against human escape in Indian geopolitics. We have changed harvesting. The green revolution is all about mechanization. It is all about pesticides. It is all about fertilizers, and it enhanced the cost of production in agrarian sector, and for which the agrarian growth rate is near zero and virtually minus zero, and it is the cause which caused the Punjab Khalistani movement, because the peasants of Punjab, the scientists of agriculture, the master of harvesting, they have been reduced beggars. They have to go away in America, in Australia, in Canada, in Germany, in Europe for employment. Every family is in trouble in Punjab, in Western UP, and even in Pakistan. They have no option because they cannot harvest, they cannot afford harvesting. It is an open secret in South India, who harvest cotton, who harvest sugar cane, and they have to starve or they have to opt for committing suicide. This is the result. And we are opting for Monsanto. Now, the leaders of this globe, the representatives of the global order of free market economy, they interacted with CEOs in Washington to finalize the agenda of development. It is simply disaster For example, everybody is speaking about the death tolls in Delhi, the death tolls of dengue. And you know, diabetes is now an epidemic in India. The people also succumb to diabetes at large scale. The people succumb to TB even today. The people succumb to malaria. These are the fundamental disease, and more people are infected with cancer. The city in which I live in, Kolkata has the greatest number of cancer patients because the environment is filled with carbon and carbon dioxide, and the green has evaporated from the landscape of Kolkata and Bengal, and the mangrove forest has been killed. The health sector has been privatized. The government sector hospitals are helpless because the manpower employed in the government sector, they are working for the private hospitals, private nursing homes. With the infrastructure in government hospitals intact, the faculty intact, nobody have proper treatment in government hospitals. That's the tragedy. And you have to go to the private hospitals. Then you need money. Without money, you cannot get treatment. If you have the money, आप मर भी गए तो आप जी जाओगे, और पैसे नहीं हुए तो आप जी रहे हैं तो भी मर जाएंगे. Nobody is addressing this problem. You are counting the death toll. This is the job of media, is it? And the agenda now reset. The governments worldwide have to privatize the government hospitals. Just imagine what would be the impact. And is it business? Is it industry? Tell me. Then the knowledge economy. We always favor equal syllabus, equal opportunity in the quest of knowledge. And in India, with privatization and with FDI, the education sector is all about vocational training without regulation, without control. In every gully, in every mullah, there are mushroom-like training centers, coaching centers, education hubs, and so on. And no guarantee of placement, no guarantee of employment. They are learning technology only, and knowledge is escaped. Higher studies escaped. Research escaped. Do you imagine the impact? And industrialization is told and confused with urbanization. Indiscriminate urbanization, the mafia Raj, the builder Raj, the syndicate Raj, the promoter Raj. This is the root. These are the roots of decontrolled, unprecedented violence all over India and all over this geopolitics. Because these forces have taken over the economy as well as the politics, and at the same time our religious behavior. For example, last year Kolkata had about 400 pandals of Ganesh Utsav, Ganesh Chaturthi, Ganesh Puja, and Kolkata does not celebrate Ganesh Puja. Kolkata celebrates Durgotsav or Kali Puja. And this year the number is more than 2,500. In Bombay it is 10,000 pandals, the public pandals of Ganesh Utsav. I hope that Kolkata would overtake Mumbai next year, and it could be more than 10,000 pandals of Ganpati Bappa Moria. আরে চেল্লাও, কত চেল্লাবে? গণপতি বাপ্পা মোরিয়া বললেই কি বাংলা মহারাষ্ট্র হয়ে যাবে? সব কলকারখানা বন্ধ হয়ে গেছে, ইন্ডাস্ট্রি বন্ধ হয়ে গেছে। বিশ্বকর্মা পুজো ধর্মের ব্যাপার নয়, কলকারখানা প্রোডাকশন সিস্টেমের ব্যাপার। বিশ্বকর্মা পুজো বন্ধ করে গণপতি বাপ্পার পুজো করলেই কি বাংলায় ইন্ডাস্ট্রিয়ালাইজেশন হবে? বাংলায় আরবানাইজেশন হবে? Think. The religious behavior is changed because the Marwari and Gujarati communities which control the industrial and business capital of India, Mumbai, they are also controlling Delhi, Kolkata, Chennai and Bangalore nowadays. And hence the empire of Ganapati Bappa Moria is expanding. I have no objection to faith, but it is not a religious affair. It is the business of donation. The mafia, syndicate and muscle power, they are raising money on the name of worship, and it had been Durga Puja, a bonanza for market, a bonanza for politics, and our communist friends opted for Bengali Hindutva nationalism to make Durgotsav the cultural festival of Bengal, which it never has been. Bengal was Buddhist, number one, and aboriginal Bengalis were Shaib or Shakto, the worshippers of Shiva or Kali. And we have opted for Durga, who kills the Mahishasur, the Asur. The Asurs are Santals, the Asurs are Dalit, the Asurs are backward communities, and it is the affairs. You blame everything. You blame for everything. You blame the Muslims. You blame the tribals. You blame the Dalits. You blame the backward classes. They are responsible. The hatred against Islam, the Islamophobia is has become the Aadhar of free market economy. Hatred against Muslims has blinded the Hindu demography in this geopolitics. They cannot think over that. They cannot think beyond the religious identity. Just talk religion. Just talk Jai Sri Ram. Just talk Ganapati Bappa Moria or Ma Durga Aschen, and those forces who are selling the nation, they are free to do everything, including the ethnic cleansing, including the genocide, including the riots, and including the continuous nilami of national resources, and the agenda is reset in Washington. Tax holiday has been allowed for foreign companies, and mind you, it is a retro tax holiday for foreign companies. And what Indian industries and what Indian business community have got in return, it is Baba Ji ka Thullu. Simply, they have not to be benefited. They are deprived of domestic market, and ironically, the making in suggests they have to take over the global market, and it is competition, it is fair competition. You are losing your home ground, you are on flight. You have to take over the globe, you have to make the globe Hindu, and India is lost. The geopolitics is lost. It is the free hunting ground of foreign capital. It is the free hunting ground for foreign companies. Under British Raj, only one company, East India Company, was ruling. And now we have opted for thousands East India companies to rule us, and it is the freedom, it is Indian citizenship nowadays. I am sorry to tell. Now just think, may we survive without oxygen, may we survive taking in methyl isocyanate or taking in carbon dioxide. If we may, and if it allows our biological anatomy, I have no objection. Thank you. Let me speak human.